Hello, everybody. This is a Torah Minute Thought that I'm saying over for Torch, and it's related to this week's Parsha, Parshas VAYAISHEV. So first thing I'd like to just tell you, introduce what I'd like to say, is that actually I think this thought can actually be found in many Parshios, but to me it's a message that really should be drawn out from every Parsha if you can. And what is the thought? So here's the idea. The way it works in life is that so much of how we take to life is really based on really how we choose to perceive the experiences that we experience. And that makes all the difference in everything. So with that, let's go straight to the thought. In this week's Parsha, we find an unusual relationship, and that is the tremendous act of none other than Reuven, the oldest son, who went away from the pack, avoided the peer pressure to defend Yosef and look to save him. And instead of sending him to his death like the other brothers wished to do, he said, let us not kill anybody, lo nakenu nafesh, let's not kill anybody, let's instead put him in the pit. And the Torah tells us, you want to know why? Because we want to point out that we want people to be, we want to save this person. That's what the Torah says. L'man hatziloso lashivo elviv. In order to save him. That was Reuven's intent. Because of that, Reuven was honored. And then when it came time to establish the Ari Miklat, the cities of refuge, where a murderer can be protected, his was the location that was set up first in his area, in his land. So, because he was the first one to look to save people from getting killed. He was the first Hatzalah man. The question is, out of all people, Reuven, why is he the one to look to save Yosef? If anything, he had every reason to hate Yosef more than anybody else. Why? Because if you look in the Parsha, Yosef has the dream that everyone's going to be bowing down to me. And that means that Reuven is basically losing his position as the leader of the brothers. And if anything, you can take that and say, oh boy, I want to get rid of this kid. I don't want to be anything, I don't have anything to do with him. We want to get rid of those dreams. If anything, he should have been the first and foremost to want to get rid of Yosef. But he didn't choose to see it that way. How did he choose to see it is the question. So, let's take a look. First of all, I just want to point out that if you go back to when he was named, Reuven. So Leah said, prophetically, she said, see, my son is so different than his uncle Esav. Esav, when the firstborn rights were taken from him, but it wasn't taken against his will, he sold it willfully, and still he wanted to kill Yaakov, and he wanted to get rid of him. That's not Reuven. Reuven, it was taken away from him against his will, given to Yosef, and not only see how different he is than Esav. Not only didn't he want to harm Yosef, he wanted to save him. But why? What was it that Reuven saw or chose to see to actually change that around? So the answer is fascinating insight. In this week's Parsha, in the dream, first you have to go back to what helps one choose a good way of seeing things, to see the positive. So the first things first is, if you go back to Reuven in last week's Parsha, he did a sin and he felt terrible about his sin. He moved his father's bed. It was totally inappropriate, and because of that, he always felt that he didn't even deserve to be, not only not his position as the firstborn, but he thought that he didn't even deserve to be part of the Jewish people at all. And he thought that he lost that position. So his natural inclination was that, I guess I'm lost. And his whole life he was busy trying to repent, trying to do tshuva, trying to do something to merit, to be just part of the rest of the brothers. So when Yosef had that dream, that fateful dream, here there are 11 stars bowing down to me. So Reuven thought for a second, 11 stars. This is a prophetic dream, clearly. It's a second dream. It's got to be true. And there are 11 stars. That means he only has 11 brothers. That means I'm a star also. I'm a star. have to really appreciate that Yosef was the one who gave me the good news that I'm still part of Klal Yisrael. So what Reuven decided to do was not to see that he lost the firstborn, but to focus on that he is a star, just like any of the other brothers. And because he saw it that way, so then he said, I better actualize this dream. And if I cannot save him so that this dream comes true, then who knows if I will be a star as the other brothers. So therefore, he did his best to save his brother. And therefore, when he went back to the cave, to the pit, to see if Yosef was there, he says a very strange thing. He says, where is Yosef? And if not, Ana Ba, where am I going to go? What does that mean, where am I going to go? How will I be part of Klal Yisrael if I cannot help Yosef actualize that dream? So this is the message. So many times in life, things happen to us. Life happens. But what do? What do we choose to do? If we have a humble heart like Reuven did, you tend to see in the positive of what happened to you, and focus on that and think about that and say, oh my goodness, this is something that I want to make happen. Anyway, that's the message, and I hope you have a great Shabbos.